Just when you thought Paper Rex couldn't get scarier, they go and win on the one map everyone thought was their weakness. If they can do it here, is it safe to say that the other teams have nowhere left to hide? And to say that this is a big deal is an understatement. And you may ask why, and it's because they were playing against G2, the other favorites to win the tournament. This is a team that is smart, structured, and methodical. And while making this video, I realized why they're annoying to watch. It's because they rarely make mistakes, they're always one step ahead, and as a result, it makes the game boring and predictable, but it also makes your favorite team's comeback basically impossible. But Paper Rex did it, and they did it in the hardest way possible. How? Well, for some reason, they banned Haven and opened Ascent. You'd think they would prefer Haven because they won more on the map, but no, I guess we're saving strats for Haven then, right? And for the record, G2 has an 85% win rate on Ascent for the year. 85! These guys basically never lose on that map. If they got this map against anyone, that team is basically cooked. And you might think, this is the reason why I said earlier that saying this is a big deal is an understatement. Well, there's actually more to it. It's no secret that Ascent is a defense-sided map, so you'd think that Paper Rex won the map by having a strong defensive side. Well, they did not. They had a horrendous defensive side, finishing the half 4-8. But now I will tell you the reason why this win is a bigger deal when you look beneath the surface. Now listen. It's because they beat G2 on a map where G2 had an 85% win rate, and they did it while mounting an attack side 4-8 comeback on a map that's supposed to be defense-sided. If you think this was just some classic Paper Rex comeback, I'd argue that this one is more than that. And as to how they made the comeback, let me bring up a few points. The first step of the comeback was to win the pistol round, and Patmen needed to clutch. So let me ask you guys, if you were Patmen in this situation, would you have taken the 1 versus 1 fight, or would you have shift walk away and planted the spike? If that was me, I would have shift walk until I reached the defense spawn, and then I would run away to plant the spike. Yeah, we play scared like that. Luckily for the Paper Rex fans, Patmen is not like me, and he faced the challenge and won the round in thrilling fashion. G2 was confident that their double sentinel comp was enough to hold off attacks. That's why we see a couple of rounds where some G2 players were just standing still like statues. Paper Rex maximized their winnings as they kept attacking the B side. Jing's wall boost while the team is executing provided a new angle to help open up the B side, and it worked tremendously. Add to this Paper Rex's constant obsession to take mid control. For the most part, something was dead set on taking space mid with the help of Patmen, and it paid off really well as they kept G2 confined within their side of the map. PRX basically told G2 to stay in their lane, and there's little that G2 could do. Forsaken, Jing, and Davai each had their fingerprints all over PRX's comeback. Forsaken stole momentum with a 2 versus 1 clutch in round 15.
A hot hand earlier, we'll see if he can keep it going now into this 1v2. Currently 16 and 8, the players dropping down and giving him that perfect timing. Snapping to it, 1v1, he's earned it!
Shut down G2's Thrifty and dropped a 4K in round 22 to tie the game.
On his back right now. It's outrageous. Every single time they need a hero, he steps up.
Jing then bulldozed his way through round 17 and 18, giving PRX the breathing room they desperately needed. And when it came down to the wire, it was Davai's patience, timing, and stealthiness in round 24 that sealed the map. Together, they turned what looks like G2's win into one of the most amazing comebacks in Valorant history. You know, I gotta be honest, like for the longest time, I don't know why, but I just don't get what G2 is all about. Like I said earlier, I realized something about them, and this is part of that. The thing that is kind of bugging me or bothering me about G2 was that I was looking at them that they are the protagonists of the story. I'm not sure if I'm just slow or what, but then I realized these guys are actually villains, you know? Like you have Valen, the crazy mastermind, you got Jonah P, the bad professor, Leaf, the evil genius, not EG though, Jogimo, the rabid dog, and Trent, I don't know, for lack of things to call the guy. I guess he's the American nonchalant psycho. Whatever, man. So yeah, I figured that it would be like easier for me to enjoy this team if I had looked at them at the perspective that they were villains rather than the protagonists of the story. And yeah, like I said earlier, maybe I'm just low or what, but what do you guys think about G2? So anyway, since I went out of my way and did this for the G2 players, I guess I have no choice. We can't leave the boys hanging. Let's do one for Paper Rex as well. Jing is obviously the showstopper. Patmen is the glue guy. The Vi, I'd like to call him the paladin. I don't know, man. RPG games, paladins are like tanks. They're always reliable and never faltering. Forsaken is the clutch captain who is always there to step up in big moments. And something, the assassino from El Dorado. No, he's not from El Dorado, he's from Russia, I think. Yeah, I just was looking for a rhyme and that's what came up to my head. But yeah, I've been hyping something so much lately because based on the interviews and videos that I've seen, I think he's also going into the gym like Forsaken has done. He's really focused. They say that it does not matter who wins the Champions MVP, but I think something is low-key gunning for it. So if PRX wins, then there's no doubt that something is going to be MVP. But before we talk about that, let's talk about Fnatic first. They are PRX's next matchup, and this is a rematch of Masters Toronto. And if you look at the stats right now, we will see something is still on top, but Alpha is following suit. Chronicle was here a few games ago, but I guess he dropped off. That's a pretty big drop off. I'm pretty sure he's like third the last time. Now we see Kayak rising to the ranks. Pretty sure this guy was like 0.8 the last time I look at it, and after that game against DRX, he's now pushing through. So let's see, where is he? Yeah, 1.34. Damn it, man. Yeah, and Chronicle, yeah, dropped off. Alpha, man, wow. Okay, Alpha was on top in the top 10, I think, as well, but that boosted him so much. So this is gonna be exciting to see. Wait, since we're talking about stats, where is Jing, man? Oh no, Jing was like top 5, I think, last time. John Cuties 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, he dropped top 15. Oh no. Okay, I need to look deeper into this. So now we have the stats of PRX versus Fnatic individually. So of course for Fnatic, something should be the one who they should be shutting down. And for PaperX, they need to find answers on how to stop Alpha. Chronicle dropped off a bit, but Jing as well, so it's fair play. I guess Forsaken is here in the middle, but then you'll see 3 Fnatic boys on here, which means stat-wise, they're actually ahead of PRX. So if PRX is to win the next match, Patmen needs to step up. I'm not sure if it's just me, but lately I feel that Patmen is just more on the background this tournament compared to Masters Toronto. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't know what happened. Maybe because he's playing Sova. They have been playing Ascent. I can't say for sure, but let's try to look at what he's doing. As we can see, based on the matches that he had, things are like building up. Because in the first game, he had a 0.66 rating. Second game, he had a 0.95 rating. And at the last game, 0.83 rating. He did fine in this G2 match, which is like, yeah, 0.83 for a support, only -5 in the KD, only -5 in the KD, so I guess that's good enough. Headshot is decent. He needs to improve on this though. I don't know why he has 4 first deaths. He needs to be more careful, I guess. Hopefully he can get up to speed once they battle Fnatic, because the team really needs him to step up. So yeah, because I have a bad feeling about this, because you see Boaster is actually having a nice tournament. If you compare this to Masters Toronto, Boaster was ass, man. You will see 0.84. His ADR is 94.4. Back in Masters Toronto, he can even kill anyone. But now it's not really it's not really a big improvement. But yeah, he has way better stats now. He's contributing more. He's less of a liability. Not that he's not contributing with his IGLing, but Boaster so far is having a really nice tournament. 0.98 compared to his Masters run, which is 0.84. It's a drastic improvement for an IGL. Forsaken, is this against G2? If we're seeing this, I think people are starting to read Forsaken's playstyle. So I guess he needs to adapt. This is too much. First deaths. It means like sometimes you'll be forcing the issue. First kills to first deaths, Forsaken. 37 first kills versus 31 first deaths. This is +6. If we'll look at the stats on champs right now, Forsaken will be... Look at this, bro. 16 first kills over 28 first deaths. That's not good, man. Maybe he got scouted so much. The aggressive stuff he's doing is crazy. People took note of it. Now he's getting read really hard on how he likes to take this fight. So I think he needs to adapt and adjust the way he plays. Hopefully he does not like, you know, sometimes when people adjust, they just become more passive, more defensive and all that. But I don't want to see that from Forsaken. I see Forsaken as one of the most creative players in the game. And so I expect him to like find new avenues, new angles, new techniques to like have the advantage and win gunfights. So I guess that's it. I think I've been talking a lot. Needless to say, Rex versus Fnatic will be a banger match, and hopefully some of the guys step up and be on their A game, because they're fighting against an opponent that's bringing in their A game. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed, hit that sub button so you don't miss out, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.